right, what is going on, everybody? Today we got a video talking about the updates coming on Tuesday, 8.2.6. I kind of read over the TWAB and I'm gonna go over it a little bit. And I know other people like go through the TWABs and stuff like that, but there are a couple things that stuck out to me as far as updates coming to Crucible, mainly because that's the game mode that I play that has, like, I don't know, it feels my competitive edge. So I wrote down some notes and we're gonna kind of talk about them, and yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So first is the prismatic super cooldowns. They're being bumped from 10% to 5%. I think this is pretty good, honestly, and I don't know, I felt like, because I run 10 intellect on my hunter, I felt like I was getting my super but not as quick compared to, what was that last update that came out, whatever that last update was, but I felt like I was getting it a bit slower. But now with the cooldown being reduced from 10 to 5, I definitely will see my super a lot more. So excited for that, obviously. Next is one of my favorites, I ain't gonna lie, the scatter the scatter grenade. So I don't know if people like don't realize like how good this is, or maybe they do, or what. I watched a couple of videos talking about it and people seem to think that the nerf really wasn't necessary. I know in my games, people rely on that scatter grenade, right? So that thing, it hits, and it hits hard. So I'm glad to be seeing a reduced scatter grenade damage to players by 15%. So that thing doesn't just like annihilate me. All right, moving on. I know a lot of people are excited about this next section. The hunter, the on the prowl, the void aspect. It's getting a nerf. It's going to be reduced PvP prey finding range from 44 meters to 25. And then it also is reducing the PvP hunt time from infinite to 15 seconds. A lot of people like to go invisible with the hunter, right? I play prismatic, and that's not something that I do, obviously, right? That's not my gameplay style, but I have heard playing against, I really haven't played against hunters that were like abusing that. Like I ran into a couple people, but I wasn't running into a mass like influx of people that was just running 300s and going invis the whole game. That's just my gaming experience, but I know it was an issue or topic of conversation. So glad to be seeing that for people that was complaining about that, because it was kind of OP. I ain't gonna lie. And then up next is the warlock. So the lightning surge, I call it the electric slide. So basically what they did was increase the minimum damage while also reducing the maximum damage, so it's more consistently, like the damage output is more consistent across the board. Not really too much to say about that. We'll see like how that feels in game, because I do play a little warlock, so, and I do use lightning surge, so we'll see how that is like once we get our hands on the game on Tuesday. But other than that, not really much else to say about that. We'll just have to do some tests and see how that goes. Next for the hunter, the Withering Blade is getting a buff, so the tracking strength is increasing by 20% and the damage is also increasing by 10%. So definitely got to test that out as well. I know I run smoke grenades on my prismatic hunter build, but if the Withering Blade seems to provide some more effectiveness and usefulness, then I'll definitely switch over to that. Just have to test it out whenever the update goes live. So the throwing knives are also getting a buff. So the lightweight knives, they're increasing tracking shape size by 10% and the tracking strength by 20%. And then the phantom knives are increasing by, the tracking shape size is increasing by 15%. So good for tracking. I haven't used a throwing knife since I was using heavy throwing knives on solo build, but yeah, good to see that, I guess. Maybe it'll be useful. I probably won't test it out, but maybe it'll be useful. And then next, as far as PvP updates are concerned, so hot topic, right? The Lexi frame, the pulse rifles, definitely among uses. One of like the Redrix is definitely like one of the most used weapons in Crucible. Next is probably the Rose and the Igneous Hammer and guns like that, but definitely saw a nerf coming with the legacy frame in general, especially the Redrix. So the legacy frame origin trait is now reduced the ADS damage fall off by 0.1. This is going to reduce the battler and the stock's ADS damage fall off scalars from 1.7 to 1.6, matching high impact pulses. But at the same time, the battler is also getting an airborne effectiveness stat increase from 10 to 21. I got a video coming out. I don't know if I should drop a video on the battler. I feel like everybody knows about it, but yeah, I might start using the battler over the Redrix if I do use a legacy frame pulse rifle, but who knows? We'll see. The rapid fire pulse rifles are also getting a buff. I feel like the rapid fire pulse, that frame, it was already pretty good, but it's getting a small increase in base damage. So you're getting a 4.5 to 15 increase in base damage, and then the precision damage is also increasing from 27.6 to 27.8. I feel like those are already pretty useful in Crucible, so if they're getting a slight little buff. So we'll see if they gain some popularity when this update drops. All right, moving on. Hand cannons, heavy bursts. They're seeing an increase in ADS damage fall off scalar from 1.5 to 1.6. I don't really use heavy burst hand cannons, so if you use that, there's that. And then Judgment is making a return during Rite of the Nine. It's getting a pretty big buff. So the magazine size is going to increase from 9 to 11. The reload speed is going to increase from 40 to 45, and then the handling is going to increase from 42 to 55. So kind of putting it on par with other adaptive hand cannons. It looks it may start to get some traction. Who knows? We'll see. I don't know. I feel like with guns like, you know, got the Rose and you got the Igneous Hammer, I feel like those are probably like some of the most like popular legendary hand cannons. So I don't really see that switching up too much, but we'll just have to wait and see. Next is auto rifles. So the high impact auto rifles, they're getting a base damage increase by 4%. So your body shots are going to go up from 23 to 24, and then your critical hits are going to go from 41.4 to 43.2. So maybe become viable. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see how everything feels when the update releases. But yeah, we're getting a buff there, and then the precision frame is also getting a buff. They're getting a 3% base damage buff. So your body size is going to go from 19.4 to 20, and then your critical hits are going to go from 33.95 to 34. So a little bit of a bump there as well. Next is going to be your adaptive submachine gun. They're getting an increased ADS damage fall off scalar from 1.4 to 1.5. Next is your shotguns. So the heavy burst slug. Ooh, the slug. So the heavy burst slug is getting increased damage by 8%. So moving on. So weapon perks. We got two that are getting some reworks. So One Quiet Moment. The one that's responsible for giving you stacks for being out of combat. So it's now going to have two stacks, one that activates 1 second out of being out of combat for 50% of the bonus, and then the other one is going to activate after 2 seconds. You'll get the rest of the bonus at 2 seconds. As far as trials are concerned, though, with Alacrity, that's also getting a rework. So now it activates at reduced effectiveness whenever one teammate dies, and then it'll reach its max effectiveness when 2 or more teammates die. So that also gives you your weapons significant stat increases. So those might become very valuable. So the next piece of PvP content update is there are 2 exotic rocket launchers that are getting buffs. Basically, their ammo will increase from 1 to 2 as far as like whenever you pick up a ammo crate in the Crucible. So instead of just getting one rocket, you're gonna get 2. So that could be a big switch. I definitely prefer using a rocket launcher because you should have rocket launched somebody's feet, but they're not living from that. So I definitely probably will be using that, especially because I don't really use exotic special or primary weapon ammo. I don't know. I like using Shatter and Bone. I like using other weapons. So if I'm not using an exotic, I'm definitely going to try out using Truth or Two-Tailed Fox. And then next definitely one of the biggest things that was being harped on, the Hunter Radiant Dance machines. So those are seeing a pretty decent nerf. So it's going to reduce the accuracy bonus for standard weapons by 60%. It's also going to reduce the aim assist fall off distance bonus at 60% as well. And then it's going to further reduce the accuracy bonus for custom tuned exotic weapons, including the last word, by an additional 25%. So getting hit with a couple nerfs here. We'll see if it's still viable. We'll see if people still use it, but definitely seeing some significant drop-offs there. I know a lot of people are excited about that. Rightfully so, because I probably saw more of this than I saw in Viz Hunter. So this is definitely, I don't know. I saw like, or maybe I just was paying attention more to this. I don't know. That's just me. And then also there is a reduced amount of energy refund for defeats against enemies when you do not have full class ability energy, from 30% to 20% to align with the upper tier strategy perk. So just balancing it out. As far as Titan, the Lion Rampant, so the Lion Rampant is getting added accuracy and range hipfire bonuses from the RDMs to the Lion Rampart for primary ammo weapons only. And these benefits are always active, not just when airborne. And then additionally, the 50 plus airborne effectiveness bonus is now always active, not just while you're airborne. So that is a big change that a lot of Titans might use. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see how it is. And then for the Warlock, the Lunification Boots is also pretty much getting the same thing that the Lion Rampart's getting. But obviously for Warlock specific, it's decreasing the range bonus granted by the Empyrean Rift by 50%, only in PvP. And yeah, that is it for that. And then last up a little bit that we got 3 new weapons coming with the 8.2.6 update. So Iron Banner is releasing a new solar lightweight scout rifle called the Natural Reclaim. And based on this, these perk combinations look kind of dope. So Kill and Win, I'm a fan of. Lone Wolf, I'm a fan of. And Rapid Hit, I'm a fan of. And obviously in the fourth column, you got Kill Clip. I love me some Kill Clip. You got Precision Instrument. You got Box Breathing. And Explosive Payload, maybe. So this weapon looking pretty good. We'll see how it performs. Just have to wait until it comes out. And then this is probably the news that I'm most excited for, right? The Inquisitor is coming back to Trials of Osiris. If you don't know about the Inquisitor, you need to find out, right? This gun is badass. I love what I'm seeing right now. So it's an Arc Precision Slug shotgun. As far as PvP perks, Slide Shot. I need me some Slide Shot, bro. I love to use the Retold Tail, even though it's not the best shotgun. It's probably my favorite shotgun to use, just because of the way it feels for me. And with that, my Retold Tail has Slide Shot, and I love Slide Shot. So if I could get Slide Shot on the Inquisitor, that'd be dope. And then in the fourth column, I'll probably do something like maybe Opening Shot, or maybe Closing Time, right? But this is looking pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. If I get me a Slide Shot Opening Shot or a Slide Shot Closing Time, I might be in there. And then lastly, the last weapon is gonna be the Cruel Mercy coming out of the Nightfall. It's gonna be an Arc Heavy Burst Pulse Rifle. You see the perk combinations here. Got Dragonfly, Demolition, Eddy Current, 4 times Charm, Keep Away, Lone Wolf, and then in the fourth column we got Jolting Feedback, Adrenaline Junkie, Head Seeker, Frenzy, Kill Clip, and Desperado. So everything, this looks pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I'm most excited about the Inquisitor, but that Cruel Mercy might be something. So we definitely got to keep our eyes on it. And then the last bit of news that I wanted to touch on is actually just as big for me as for the Inquisitor coming back. So obviously the Natural Reclaim, you get that in Iron Banner, right? So it's going to be first available starting May 20th when Iron Banner returns. You can get it in a match just like how you get any other Iron Banner weapon, right? For the Inquisitor and the Cruel Mercy, they're doing something different though. So For the duration of Right of the Nine until the Edge of Fate launch, you get these weapons from Trials and Nightfall respectively, right? So you get the Inquisitor from Trials and you get the Cruel Mercy from Nightfall. But you can also get the Cruel Mercy from Trials of Osiris. And you can get the Inquisitor from the Nightfall, right? They'll drop in conjunction with whatever that the focus or the feature weapon is that week. So that is definitely interesting. And not only that, they also drop Adept. So if you are running the highest difficulty, or if you're playing Trials and you're doing you get your 4 wins in a row, or you get your wins in a row right over your chest, you have the potential to get the Cruel Mercy, also the Inquisitor. So that is definitely interesting. We'll see like what the drop rate or how they'll like balance out what you get from what. Maybe it has a chance to drop, but maybe not as much as like, if you're playing Trials, maybe the Cruel Mercy doesn't drop as much, but it still has a chance to drop, and then vice versa. We'll have to wait and see. But no, that is some big piece of news right there. So yeah, that is gonna do it for the PvP updates for 8.2.6, which goes live on Tuesday. So definitely looking forward to that. Definitely excited. Ready to test out some new weapons for sure. See what's viable. Expect some videos coming out about just putting y'all on some guns. I like to go not off meta, but I definitely like to go like against the grain. I don't like to use what everybody uses. So everybody using Last Word and freaking snipers and Radiant Dance from Season, all that stuff. Like that's cool, but not really. I'm not really a fan of all of that. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all for stopping by, and until next time, I'm out. Later.